In the series of learning programming in C, in the previous video I have discussed unformatted output functions in C. So from this video I am going to start control statements in C. What do you mean by control statements? How many control statements are there? Many control statements are there. If else, nested if, and else if, ladder, switch statements. So all the statements, all the control statements we will be discussing one by one. In the later videos, like 3 or 4 videos I need, because I am going to discuss every control statement in detail with some programs with every single point. So if more specifically I say, then in this video I am going to discuss about that if statement, if control statements. I will be discussing every single detail about if statement with the help of programs, and as well as some interesting points I am going to tell you that I am sure definitely you don't know about if statements, and that would really be helpful for you in solving those questions when you get when you are given a code and you are asked to find out the output of this code. Those questions looks very simple to you, very easy to you, but those are tricky questions. So what tricky kind of things we can do with if statement, that we will discuss in this video. So please watch this video till the end. So now let us discuss about control statements in C. See, as the name suggests, control statements means the statements we are using for controlling something. Now what you can control in a program? Let me write down a simple program, then you will get it better. Just take a simple program. You can include those hash include stdio.h and conio.h header file. So while execution of this program, this is what, first of all, control will go to the main function, the first line of the main function, then this line, then this line, this line, this line, and this line till the end of the program. This is what sequential flow of execution. One by one statements would be executed. Enter value of a and b, then you will enter a value of a and b, then sum would be calculated, sum would be printed. After that, printf, don't want to calculate sum, any line would be printed, and then that's it. This is what sequential flow of execution. But suppose you don't want this sequential flow of execution. You want to make some decisions. You want to skip some statements based on some conditions. Maybe suppose I want, if value of a and b both are 1, then only sum would be calculated. Otherwise it should show a message, do not want to calculate sum. At this time means you want to control the flow of execution of the program, right, based on some condition. That is why, to control the flow of the execution of the program, we use some specific kind of statements, and those statements are known as control statements. Like you can take a real life example. See, suppose if you are going to a supermarket, you are asked to buy suppose oranges. So your mother will say oranges ले आना. अगर oranges ना हो तो आप क्या ले आना? कीनू ले आना. अगर कीनू भी नहीं हो तो आप मौसम्बी ले आना. Yes, based on some condition. If oranges are available in the supermarket, you will buy oranges. Otherwise, if oranges are not available, then you will buy keenu. If keenu are also not available, then you will buy mossambi. Means in real life also we are using these kind of statement, decision making statement. You have to make some decision based on some condition. If something is available, then you can buy. Otherwise not available, then you have to make decision. Not available, then you can buy other thing. Right, these kind of things we generally use in our real life. So we can also use these statements in our program. We can also instruct our computer to do some kind of things if some condition is true. If that condition is not true, please execute some other kind of statement and skip some statements. Right, we don't want the sequential flow of the execution. Right, that is why to control the flow of execution we use control statements. And so I hope you know what does this mean, the control statements means, and why we use these control statements, right? Like suppose if I say that my age is greater than 18, then I can vote only, right? Otherwise you cannot vote. These kind of things you can instruct our computer, and how you can instruct using these statements. And so control statements are if, else if, ladder, nested if, and switch statement, right? So in this video I will be talking about if statement, simple if statement, how you can use if statement, right? Or if means it is also known as a single selection. Why I am saying single selection statement, that also we will discuss when we will discuss it with the program, right? And these are also known as decision making statements. Based on these statements you are making some decisions, right? Now let me discuss it with a simple program. So if it is a control statement, or you can say a decision making statement, right? How you write down, what is the general syntax of writing this if statement? We will write this if, this is a keyword in C. Here you will write some condition, or if you don't write condition, anything you can write. It's not like that you have to write condition here, but generally if you want to make some decision, then you will make decisions based on some conditions only, right? What else you can write, that also we'll discuss. Some conditions, or you can say text expression or anything, or variable name you can write here, but generally we write here condition in this bracket. After that we write what? Statement, or you can say if statements. And after this if I am writing, suppose after if statement, I am saying after if statements, right? Now let me discuss it with the program, then you will get it better. Suppose I am writing one variable int a, enter value of a, I am entering value of a, right? And I am writing here if a. See, I am not writing any condition here, I am just writing a variable name a, or you can say this is what a test expression, I am going to test this thing, right? This is considered as a condition, means we are going to test this thing. If within this, whatever is written within these braces, if this is true, then suppose here I am writing what? Printf inside if, and again I am writing printf out of if block. Get ch to hold the screen, and up on the output screen what you will get, first of all, when you execute this thing, enter a, you will find enter a, value of a. Suppose you are entering value of a 5, right? Now if here a is what? 5, so that is 5. 5 means, see, if this condition is true, then only the if statement would be executed. If this condition is not true, then the control would go out of the if block. Then means this statement, after if statements, whatever you have written, that would be executed, right? 5 is what? True or false? 5 is what? Anything, any value other than 0 is what? Considered as true, means 1. So it is true. True means control will go within this if block. So now output you will get inside if block, that would be printed here, right? And after that this line would also be executed out of if block, that would also be printed here, right? So I hope you got the flow of execution. Let me discuss it with the flow chart. See, till this if statement we have this execution of our program, sequential execution of our statements, right? After that if condition is there. If this condition is true, if this is true, then which statements would be executed? The statements which are written within the if block, that would be executed, right? So now here you will write the if statement block would be executed, and if the condition is false, then what would be executed? After if, whatever you have written, that would be executed. And now what we have written after if, that is after if statements. So after this, if this is false, directly control will go to those after if statements. And if it is true, then first of all the statement block, whatever written within this if block, that would be executed, and ultimately this would be executed after if statements, that would be executed. These statements after if statements would be executed in both cases, if this is condition is true or false, right? That you have to take care. Fine. Only the difference is about the statement block, if statement block. If condition is true, then only these statements would be executed, otherwise directly control will go to these statements, right? Now see, if you will enter a is equal to 0, in this case what output you will get? If a is 0 means here you will get false, the condition is false, so control will not go to within this block. Directly what would be printed? Out of if block, simple one output, out of if block, right? Now here I am not specifying any curly braces, this and this. If you are writing a single statement after the if, means within this if block, then no need to write down these curly braces. If you are writing multiple statements, means more than one statements, then you have to specify these curly brackets, right? See, suppose here I am writing I want to execute these two statements. If this is true, then I want to execute, first of all it should print inside if block, and then it should print value of a, whatever you are entering, right? So now if you are not specifying, suppose if you are not specifying any curly braces, and if you are entering enter value of A, that is I am entering value of A is 5. This is true. Then it will only execute the first statement. By default it consider what? Only the first statement after the if block is the part of this if statement, the if statement block. So only output what you will get is inside if block, you will get this thing, right? And this statement, the second statement, would be treated as after if statements. So means these two would be treated as after if statements, and this would be treated as inside if statement. So definitely output would be inside if block, value of A would be printed, that is 5, and out of if block. Both the three printf would be executed. But suppose if you are writing here 0, means value of A is 0, that is false. Means according to you, you want what? These two statements would not be executed, right? Directly this would be executed. But it will skip only this first statement. If it is false, this statement would be by default considered as a part of this if, right? And these two statements after if statements. So it will not execute this thing, it will not print inside if block, it will print value of A 0 out of if block, right? So if you want to give multiple statements as a part of if block, if block statement, then you have to put these into curly braces. I am putting these two statements into curly braces. Now if you will enter value of A is 0, then value of A is 0, it is false, then it will not execute, it will not enter into the if block directly. Control will go to after if statements because the condition is false. So what would be printed here? Out of if block, right? So this thing first of all you need to take care. If one statement, no need to mention these curly braces. If two statements, yes, you have to mention curly braces. If you will not mention the curly braces, only first statement would be considered as a part of this if. After all the statements after the first statement would be considered as a part of after if statement block, right? Now next point about if statement is what? If suppose we are writing semicolon here, right? It will not give error. Sometimes these kind of questions they can ask, right? In those code they'll put semicolon after if and you have to tell the output, right? Maybe you can say that it is an error because you haven't think about this. You are also told in the colleges like that we cannot write semicolon after if. But what if you write semicolon here? They'll not tell you this thing. So here I am going to tell you this thing. If you are writing semicolon means you are terminating this if statement here, right? There is no meaning of checking the condition here, right? Now suppose I am writing here, I am executing this thing and I am writing enter A, I am entering value of A is 0. And in this, suppose I am writing this in the blocks because I want to include these two statements within this if block, right? And this is after if block statement. So now you have terminated this if. So if you are entering 0, then also it will execute the if block. So the output would be inside if block value of A 0 out of if block. If you are entering 5, 6, 1 anything, then also this would be executed. Everything inside if block value of 8 would print and out of if block. Means semicolon means you are terminating the if statement here. You are not, there is no meaning to check the condition here. If the condition is false, then also it is going to execute the if block statements. So now you have to try it at your own. If I am wrong, then please tell me in the comment box, right? So this is another tricky thing you can do with if statement. Next, what you can do is, here rather than this variable you can also check some condition. Obviously we are going to check some condition only. Based on that condition we can decide something. It's just a simple example I am taking. So let me write down some condition here. So now let us take this program. Here I want to take age and an input. So output would be enter age. Age I am entering if age is greater than 20, right? But here I think you have noticed in scanf I haven't written %, so this will give error. I was just checking that you are attentive or not. So now I am entering, suppose age is 21, right? If age greater than 20 means 21, yes, this condition is true. Condition true, then it will execute, it will enter into the if block. And I am specifying the curly braces, means these two statements would be part of this if block. So now what would be printed? Your age is and %d, that would be replaced with that value of age. Age is what? 21. And after that, what would be printed? You can go coffee with me, right? And this also would be executed, and after that the statement, the control will go to here. It's time to go home. That would also be printed. All the 3 lines would be printed, right? And if you don't write these curly braces, then you have to tell me what output you will get. If I am entering age 20, I am entering age 20, and this is the program. I am not putting curly braces here, and this is the program. What output you will get, you have to tell me in comment box, right? And suppose if I am writing again the curly braces and I am entering the age, that is 15. Now what output you will get? Age greater than 20? No, it is false. So control will not enter into this block. If block directly, control will go here, and what would be printed? It's time to go home. That's it, right? So I hope you got the working of this if statement. One more thing here, suppose you are checking equality condition. I am checking if age, I want if age equal to 25, then this statement would be executed. Means you can go coffee with me, otherwise it's time to go home, right? So suppose sometimes we write if age is equal to 25, but this is wrong. You want to check the equality condition. So this is what assignment operator in C. To check the equality condition, you have to mention here double equal to. Many times in those questions they write this kind of thing, rather than double equal to, they write just equal to. Definitely you will get confused in this thing. Let me clear out this thing. Now if age is 25, suppose I am entering 25, means yes, age is 25, this is true, means these 2 statements would be executed, and then this statement would be executed. If age is 20, this condition is not true, only this statement would be executed, right? And if suppose I am writing here age equal to 25, then what will happen? What output you will get? I am entering age 20, right? But you think age is not 20, and I'm checking the condition here, so it is false, only this would be executed. No, here it is just assignment operator. Means 25 would be assigned to this age, right? Means now age value is what? 25. See, when the program would be start executing, then first of all control will go here. In memory, age variable would be created, and that value would be assigned to age after you enter the value. Means enter age, you will enter suppose here 20. So 20 would be assigned here, right? But control will go here in this if statement. Now age equal to 25. Now this has been modified. Age now becomes 25. So now here other than 0 we have 25. That is true. So these statements would be executed. Now what output you will get? Your age is 25, not 20. You are entering 20, but you will get 25. You can go coffee with me. It's time to go home, all the 3. If you enter here suppose 25, then also it's not like that you are entering 25, that is why it is executing, but here it is already 25. So then also you will get 3 outputs. If you are entering here age 0, then also you will get your age is 25, you can go coffee with me, it's time to go home. So please take care of this thing, single equal to and double equal to within this if statement, right? One more thing, if I am writing here that not equal to, not age, then if you are entering here, enter age, I am entering age suppose 0, right? Now age is 0, value of age in this memory is 0, so 0 not 0, this is logical not, means 1, it is going to invert the value, means 1. If here value is 1, 1 means true. So this block would be executed, all these two line and these 3 line would be executed, right? So you have to take care of this logical not also. Fine. If I am entering here, age is suppose 25, right? 25 not 25 means ultimately 25 means true, means 1. It would be considered as 1, but not 1, that is 0. So now it would be considered as 0. Now if 0 means condition is true, that is false, condition is false. Now in this case what would be printed? It's time to go home, only this thing. So please take care of this operator also, logical not operator also, right? So now what is the conclusion here? In this case, if you enter age 0, in that case only if block statement would be executed, otherwise for all other inputs only this statement would be executed. Now one assignment for you is, if age is greater than 20 and less than 30, your age is, it should print this thing and you can go coffee with me. If age is greater than 15, your age is this thing. Otherwise, after that I am writing printf, it's time to go home, and you have to tell me the output. If you are entering age 28, then 16, then 14, then what output you will get. I hope you are clear with the if statement now. In the next video I am going to discuss about if else statements. So now I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, take care.